This property was owned by a family for over 30 years. There was a lady that was sick in the property, and her sister wanted to buy the property from the landlord. She went to go buy the house. He sold it to her for 50 grand. Cheap, right? You can't buy dirt for 50 grand. She had a family friend. She negotiated her name onto the title of the property, and she stole it. This property, we kind of ran the numbers already, right? I had an idea of what it was going to take me to get this done. I had no clue that I was going to be kicking out all those walls. No clue. But as I started opening this when I got there the next day when my guys tore the property apart, I saw so much damage from termitas. So much. And then the other problem, the reason why I was sinking is because there was a plumbing leak in the bathroom and in the kitchen, and it was pouring straight on the piers. Sinking and seeing so much damage, there was no return. Now, if I didn't have the relationships of guys that can do the work, give me good pricing, and understand the work, that wouldn't have worked, right? And if I didn't have the information on how to execute, it wouldn't have worked. And if I didn't get this deal at the price I got it at, with 0 financing fees, this deal wouldn't have worked. And so many times you get into a deal, you can send an inspector underneath there. Inspector's gonna say, oh yeah, these are some, you couldn't have known this. Almost every 2x4 has to come out of here. That's another 7 grand in labor and material, easy, right? And so I say this to say that it goes right back to good deals, information, and relationships. So what I'm doing here now is I'm moving it around, got the permits, got the designs, I'm moving the kitchen here, I'm adding another bathroom. This used to be 2 bedroom, 1 bathroom. Now the benefit of a bathroom, more specific like a Stockton or Modesto, it represents $20,000 more. So it's forced value, right? So a 2-1 in this area, like 300, 325. By me adding another bathroom and a bedroom, I can move the price up to the 350 range, plus it's all brand new. But the price that it's gonna take me to add that bathroom in that room, almost half that price. And that's the tricks. And those are some of the fundamentals of real estate investing. That's way more than, hey, I want to buy a house.
Well, you're brave. It seems like being a real estate investor, it's a lifestyle. It's not a job. It's like you're fully in it. People that are in construction already and understand the logistics of like putting a house together, it seems like a no-brainer because it sounds like that's the most difficult part is the structure, the plumbing, the pests and all of that. That's the most difficult part because that's where the most money is going. That's where the money is going.
The word that best describes that whole process is the confidence. I don't know everything. I don't have to. He knows stuff. Once we get through our first deal, and as we collaborate as a community and start the synergy, that's what helps. When everybody's connected, if you see one do it, you see another do it, I could do it. If you guys jump out of a plane, I hate heights. But if you guys do it, listen, I'm ready, I'm good, I can do it. We gutted everything. Everything was gutted. From the cabinets to the flooring, a lot of the subfloor. Not only was there a fire in the garage, when they sprayed it with the hoses from the fire department, all the sheetrock was soaked and gummy, so we had to demo everything. Not about how much you make, but how much you save, or how much can you grow out of a project. Can you force some value there? Put a pool, you're not gonna get any money. Solar, you're not gonna get any money. Adding a bedroom or a bathroom, I never met a person that said, oh, there's too many bathrooms, right?
En la parte que está quemada, necesitó un permiso especial de la ciudad, de los bomberos.
Yeah. So for the part in the front where it was burned, did you have to do any special permits to fix that or a special inspection for that?
Yep. I didn't have electricity here the whole construction because they wanted it all fixed before they give you electricity, or you can get temporary electricity, but it takes 4 or 5 months. So I have a generator at home. John had a generator too. We fired up the generator. I mean, we was just pouring gas every other day, getting 5 gallons of a jet ski gas container.
Yeah.
And that became the norm because I knew I wasn't going to get electricity. The other thing, when you start adding rooms and stuff like that, when the city comes out, they look at everything. And everything in here is safe. But senors, you will probably see, when they come in, they will start making you do things that you really don't have to do. And so you don't always want them in here, especially if you're running a business, because they'll come in one day, all right, shut it down. I'm paying a mortgage on here every month, or you need to do this. And so if you buy a property, you're not experienced, you start opening walls, and then the city comes in, it's not that we're not going to fix it, but how they want you to do it, stop. Do this, and don't get a mean guy. You're in trouble. So if you can keep them out of the property, that's what you want to do, and I didn't want them in here. How
would you do that? If they're like knocking at the door, do you have to let them in?
Yes. Well, yes. You have, yes. Okay. But you do that by not having them come in the first place. They can always come. They can always come. Typically, they're not unless somebody calls. Oh, come on back! Come on back! Come on back! Come on back! Come on back!
What's up, man?
Oh man!
How we doing?
Good to see you. This is
beautiful property.
This is Chris Luna right here. He has mastered the ADU. ¿Cómo se dice ADU en español?
ADU.
ADU. The patron of ADU. He has done them by USD, by all the universities. And been able to realize that the money is in student housing. He flew in, right? He just flew in right now. His flight was a little late. I was like, man, I don't know if he's gonna make it.
Yeah, I've been in the game for a while, since 2016. I really enjoy what I'm doing. I'm moving, I still do deals actively, but I'm leaning into just helping others, collaborating, building businesses. It's a lot of fun to me. But yeah, I started with nothing, middle-class family here in Sacramento. Came down to San Diego State, started buying up that neighborhood. Adding ADUs, deal by deal is what I've always told everybody, and just sticking with it, and it's been very lucrative and very fun, and I'm just very blessed to be in the position I'm in.
Full transparency, the 3 components that I told you guys earlier, what are the 3 components when you're looking at a deal?
Deal, debt, equity. In that order. The deal is the most important. If the deal's good, the right debt will be attracted to it, and raising the equity will be very simple, because there's a lot of money in the universe. So
I didn't make that up. I learned it from him. I flipped properties, but when he taught me that, I was like, oh, I could do this better. I could do this better. I wasn't focusing on the deal, and this Deal Mastery 101 that's why it's so important, because I didn't know it was a deal. I thought it was hustle, 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 hustle. No, the value is in the deal, getting the right debt and forcing the equity, like adding bedrooms or any other type of creative ways to make more money.
This is better than college.
Yeah.
You learn how to do those things on this thing. You flipping. She's like, ask anybody here.
There's 2 questions I want you to ask people when you're talking to them. Because you two are going to be the youngest ones, so you got to impress them. You got to say, do you invest or what do you do? You leave like that. And then once they say, I invest, you can ask them a follow-up question. What would be a good follow-up question if I said, yes, I invest? How do you like it? How long have you invested? If I wanted to get in investing, where would I start? Right? Those are good follow-up questions. So you really have to be like, you got to put your big kid hat on today, and you got to execute. All right? You can't be shy.
Ask questions, right?
The more hands you shake, the more money you make. All right?
That's what I tell
buy
them.
like freaking, I don't know, what do you guys buy? Candy? Oh, you can buy a lot of candy. A lot of it. What's the most amount of money you made on a deal?
120K.
120.
120.
After all expenses?
After all expenses, repairs, 120.
Okay, give us some quick math on what you
Quick
purchased.
math. Okay, I was in contract for this property for 180. Okay, midway through escrow, the seller calls me. She's like, "Dude, my house is messed up now. Even more than it already was. It already was a piece of shit, and now it's a bigger piece of shit." So I walk in. There's like someone came in that had a vendetta with the last tenant, shot that place up. Doof, doof, doof. Shot that thing.
God.
Yeah, like it sounded real like that. So I walk in. This place is a mess.
Right.
I didn't want this deal anymore. It was in Airport District in Modesto. If you guys don't know where Airport is, pretty rough. I'm not gonna lie. So I told the seller, I'm like, "Hey, I need to renegotiate this deal with you." So I was in contract for $180. I got the price reduced from $180 to $110. I put 100 in it and sold it for $350. 120 G's.
Say somebody else that's like just starting out, they're gonna be kind of timid, and they're just gonna be like, okay, the property got shot up, like I'm screwed, you know what I mean? And they're just gonna be like thinking through that. But you somehow went back to the seller and you renegotiated the price. Like, what even like flipped that switch to say, I can renegotiate that price?
Have friends with you through all this, and have good friends around you are very important. Because I was with my friend at the time when we were going to check out this property, because she told me it was shot up. So I was like, hey, I got my boy and I'm like, let's go. And he was like, dude, you should ask for this price reduction. Don't back out. Because I was actually ready to back out. I emotionally let go of the deal. He's like, why the hell would you do that? Just go back and tell her 100 grand and just see what she says. If you get it, it's a great deal. If not, who cares? Then you can back out.
So I met Chris at Vegas.
Yeah.
I saw he used to wear his hat at C on it, right? For Chris. And I saw it once, and we went to Vegas. Me and Trey went about a year ago, and I saw him. I was like, hey man, what's going on? He started up a course, started up a community. I joined the community. I was fortunate to do that, and then just been networking and growing. And then a guy that he is in his community that I work with, we just took that $1 million deal. Swear to God. We just took that $1 million deal. I never would have met Josh, or vice versa. And then just kind of working with Chris, we all hop on calls all the time. Josh, me and Chris spend a lot of time, right? Especially online. And I know Chris went to school with my brother, so I later found out, right? So obviously I admire him. So I've never spoke to Josh, but on these calls, he's probably seen me and Chris talk. In short, Josh calls me and says, look, I want to do a deal with you. He wouldn't have felt comfortable if he didn't see my relationship with Chris. So it's one thing to know somebody, but there's a level of just trust. So Josh called me, he's like, hey man, I see a deal for $1 million, you want to buy it? Oh, I mean, this is a scam.
Yeah.
Who is this? And it worked like that.
Because I would recommend that to all of you guys. Find your niche. Like if it's a zip code, that's a niche. If it's a certain type of property you're looking for, that's a niche. Like go for your duplexes, or go for 5 units, or go for the single family. Find a niche, create that active income, and lean into it. I invested in one zip code for like 7 years, the 92115. It wasn't until year 7 that I went to Pacific Beach 92109, and now I'm in the 92104. So just like because if you're in on one zip code, what happens if you have Redfin on and you have notifications on? This is just a little nugget. I would have notifications on because you could see the second a deal hits the market. The best deals, the sellers know what they have. They put it on the MLS. I mean, you could get some stuff off market and maybe steal a deal, right? Go door knocking, but the good stuff in the great locations, like this seller is sophisticated. He knows what he has, and therefore, if you want to buy that because you see an opportunity there, you're going to see something on the MLS. So turn on Redfin notifications, 92115 instantly. Like if I go on my phone right now, I get pinged all day, and I was like, that's a no, that's a no, that's a no. Oh, I like that one. I'll deep dive underwrite it.
You really, when you focus on a certain zip code, you really understand the fabric of the neighborhood. You really know what things are going for.
Yeah.
You really know the comps. There's no math needed. This is a good neighborhood. This street's not good. You know, you really become a master of it.
Yeah.
Now, at some point, when you begin to dive into real estate investing, you really take ADUs very, very serious. But you were even niche about that. You begin to build ADUs near the university. What's your why about that?
You know, I say start in your backyard because you know that area better than anyone. I mean, think of an 18 to 22-year-old Chris Luna. I was running up and down those streets. I knew the houses to live in, I knew the party house, I knew the house with the pool. I just had all the data up here. And when you have the data, it just helps you move a little more like with certainty and speed. And that's what I'm about. When I see a good deal hit, I'm like, boom, I'm laser focused in. I put on a song. It's like my like war song. It's called Burning Man by Dirk Burnt.
Go ahead, sing it for him.
Let's say so I'll put that song on. I'll pull out my Google Earth. I'll look at the 3D rendering. I don't even need to go to the property. It's all on my like everything right here, right here. I'll go to Google Earth. I'll start measuring stuff. I'll do all these things, and then throw it in my calculator, see what the cash flow is, see what the appreciation is, see what the IRR is, and from there, I decide, okay, I'm gonna write an offer. And because I'm an agent, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna sit down here, write the offer. Sometimes I would have contracts out to the seller's agent within like 15 or 20 minutes. That was my level of commitment. And when the agent sees that, they're like, this guy's either full of it or like he's the real deal. And then I would show them, hey, this is my REO, real estate owned. This address, this address, this address. Like, oh, he's the real deal. He owns 7 on this street. You think he's gonna close? He's gonna close. And so when you can act with speed, certainty, you have some backing with you, that helps. If you haven't closed your first deal yet, meet someone who's buying in that neighborhood, take him out to lunch, take Jake out to lunch, get in his community, and then from there, you're gonna have a little more street cred.
Yeah.